All right, this is our CLC project. I'm Robert.
Sophie.
Elisa?
I'm Luella.
My name is Rich.
To start this off, so we did our client based off Luella. So we chose a graphic designer. She's 29. She prolongs sitting for a long period of time, also using a computer and mouse throughout the day. She has no real like medical surgeries or anything like that, just experiences some neck stiffness. And as far as recreation, she does some beginner strength training and yoga, but we found some shoulder issues, which we'll get into in a second.
We conducted a PARQ. Essentially, with the PARQ is a self-screening tool, allows us to assess their health, also to identify any potential health risks of the individual. This what we're doing with the PARQ is just giving them the form to make sure that they're perfectly fine or healthy before we prescribe them a program to start off with.
So next we'll be looking at her posture. So we can see from the side view, which is in sagittal plane, her main issues, which is a forward head posture, rounded protracted shoulders, and anterior pelvic tilt. So you can see that her ear sits like in front of the vertical line instead of directly over the shoulder, and you can see that her shoulders appear slightly forward relative to the torso, which is often caused by tight pectoralis, major, minor, and weak mid-back muscles.
Yes, and then we did an overhead squat analysis. The angles. And so what we should see, what's supposed to be normal, is feet in line with the knee. We're supposed to see the tibia aligned with the torso, slight pronation in the foot, but also her maintaining that arch. And then knees should be aligned with heels as well, with the heels on the ground. The compensation that we saw is one of her arms came forward a little bit, which suggests a unilateral problem. So that could come from an overactive pec major, pec minor, and teres major, and then the underactive muscles would be the rotator cuff because it's not stabilizing that joint properly, as well as the rhomboids and the posterior delts.
And then during Luella's single leg squat video, when that starts playing, she actually did a really relatively good job. It's just we did see a little bit of knee valgus on her. It was her left knee, and some pronation of her feet. And then based off the images, yeah, she did a relatively good job. Her back is straight. Her pelvis honestly didn't tilt too much. It's just more of that foot pronation going inwards. This could be due to an overactive soleus or her hamstring, and then a very much so underactive glute medius or tibialis anterior as well from sitting from a long period of time.
During the gait analysis plays, from the video itself, there was nothing wrong with the lower extremity in my opinion, but with the upper extremity, I saw a slight head forward posture. This can be due to overactive muscles in the upper traps, the sternocleidomastoid, and if I can remember, also the middle traps. But also underactive muscles within the lower traps and the serratus anterior, which both of them help stabilize the shoulder blades, which that might have caused our client to have a forward head posture.
Okay, so then we looked at the standing overhead press. So here's the video from that, and then as you can see, so when you're doing this, your arm should be up at the exact same speed. As you can see, there might be a unilateral problem as they do extend at a different pace. And can you click to the pictures?
Yeah.
And then at the pictures, you can see that the full extension and the starting point of the motion is at a different place. So that really shows that there is probably a unilateral issue, and some underactive muscles would possibly be not necessarily underactive, but my traps, upper and lower, are probably moving at like a different speed and like have different tightnesses, whether it's the right and the left. Then also a possible underactive muscle could be my rotator cuffs. And then something that could be tight would be my anterior delts, especially on my left shoulder, as that's the shoulder that's moving faster and is more elevated.
And so to confirm this, we wanted to conduct a manual muscle test. We conducted on all planes of motion in the shoulder. And what we came to find is that one of her shoulders, her left one, wasn't as strong as the right one. And also, I did feel like some sort of movement in there as well, which suggests some instability. So this just confirms our suspicions with just her overactive and underactive muscles causing problems in her kinetic chain.
So some exercises for the shoulder blade area we would recommend or prescribe. For thoracic and lat mobility, I recommend the lat wall stretch in the top left. On the bottom left, I recommend the kettlebell arm bar to work on active shoulder extension. And last but not least, for overhead strength and stability on the bottom right, I recommend working on IYT ranges with the dumbbell.
And here are references. Thank you.